hello, beautiful humans of Facebook. Let me make sure that I am in the right place. I have my friend Shannon Wooten that I am trying to get on here right now. Perfect, she wants to be in my video. Hello. Hello. We're adding Shannon. Hi!
I feel so technologically capable these days.
You really are. You did a great job.
Thank you.
I'm so here for all of this. You freaking crushed it. How are you, my friend? How are you?
I can't see, I only see your mouth.
You only see my mouth?
Yeah, like your eye, it's like this.
Oh, can you guys see me okay?
Maybe you need to like scooch down a little. Yeah, do that.
That's
I like
so
that.
weird. On my side, I can see us just fine.
Okay, well, it's a little bit like this.
Oh. Let me try. Oh, my chair doesn't go any lower.
You need to sit like this.
Hello, everyone. Olivia, Sarah, and Kayla. Hello. Oh, my God. You guys, we want to talk. This is kind of like a cocktail conversation live a little bit. You know?
Did you title it that? I didn't even notice.
No, I did not, but I titled it, Let's Chat About Our Sexual Liberation and Awakening in Tulum, Mexico this past week. Get me a little hot and bothered as is. And it's just like we're recording our cocktail conversation. So for those of you who don't know, hi, Shannon and I host a podcast called Soul in the Raw Podcast. It's on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify. And every Friday we have an episode called Cocktail Conversations, where we talk about really anything and all the things. There we talk about sex and our husbands and parts of them. We talk about business. We talk about ideas and inspiration and all the things. So today we wanted to talk about this topic, and I was like, you know what? I'm like feeling spicy. I was like, I want to go live, and I'm going to ask Shannon to go live with me. So basically, it's kind of like we're recording a cocktail conversation just on a Facebook Live, because why the hell not?
We could also, like we've been talking about, download this into a podcast. Remember?
Oh my God, that's brilliant. And we wanted to talk about this next week anyway.
My brain is like fire today.
Hallelujah. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So we want to talk about this. Hello, Shannon and Jaslyn and Becca. Hello, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with us here. Grab a glass of wine, a cup of tea. I've got water, whatever is your jam. We are hydrating post tequila chicas in Tulum. That's what they called us there. They called us the Americans with the alcohol and tequilas chicas. So we are definitely in detox.
Until like maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow, and they'll probably have alcohol again, and it will be great. So
yeah,
I mean, I honestly was like, okay, where do we even start with this topic of sexual liberation? We were in Tulum with our friend Bianca, who is also a sex coach.
Shout out, we love you.
Amazing. Shout out, we love you. Hi, if you want to sponsor us, we're here for it. And we were talking about sex and sexuality and liberation and vaginas and naked pictures and bikini bottoms that our butts show. And we talked about orgasms and squirting, and we talked about all of these things in Mexico. All of the different topics that you can even imagine what we really dug into and dove into. And it just allowed us to kind of awaken this different part of us as women. And even me being a sex and sexuality coach, like it allowed me to embody and unleash and unlock this other side of me while we were there. And we wanted to talk to you guys about that today. So you can start your own sexual liberation, because why the hell not?
Oh my gosh. Yay. So first of all, if we're like making this like a cocktail conversation, then I want to say clank to all of the frequent Soul in the Raw listeners who listen in every single Friday for Olivia and I. We do riffs like this every Friday called Cocktail Conversations, and every Monday we typically have a guest interview. So if you guys are drinking something with us right now, what we typically do, if you're a newbie and you've never watched the show before, go to iTunes and download Soul in the Raw. Tell us what you love. But also if you're listening now, tell us what you're drinking with us. I typically drink La Croix. Most of the time, Shannon, I knew I could rely on you, Shannon. Yes, most of the time, we're typically either drinking like a glass of Malbec or some whiskey or vodka, tonic or whatever. But sometimes we just have coffee, and we have kombucha, and we also have agua. So today I'm drinking a La Croix. But in Mexico, as Olivia said, we were tres tequila amigas, or however you say it. I obviously don't speak Espanol, but we had we had ourselves our fair share of shots of tequila and margs and all the good, delicious things. Now, that does not mean that the sexual liberation that Olivia and I are referencing was in any way influenced kombucha guava goddess. Yay, Jeanette!
Guava
Love that.
is my fave.
So good. Except when we drink wine at work. Shannon, you know my opinion on that. You know my opinion on this, Shannon. You could do all the things. But I'm not saying that your boss would like it, but I'm saying here for it. But anywho, so yeah, the sexual liberation that came, there were a lot of factors. You guys will probably hear a lot more about it in our cocktail conversation that airs tomorrow. But there were a lot of factors involved. We were in like a very energetically liberating space. And there was, what is it? What moon was it? What was
it was a super moon. It was a super moon that was like the most potent in like the last 15 years in Tulum.
Yes. So we feel like we were very like spiritually and soul and energetically supported. And as we were going throughout the trip, we, you know, I don't know what you guys, your relationships are with other women, but the three of us were just very in full-fledged support of each other. I have never worn a booty bottom before in my entire life. Ever. Like these two beautiful goddesses are out there, sun's out, buns out. And I'm like, no, this is not going to happen. Like never, never, never. It was the first day, I think it was the first day when you and Bianca both took each side of my bikini bottom and pulled it up through my ass crack.
Yep. We really
yes.
Did. We were like, hold on, let's take a picture for Scott. This is so good.
Yes. It was probably 2.5 seconds later that I was like, get that shit out of my asshole. Like I can't be like this. I can't live life like this. But even in those moments, like we were watching, I don't know how you feel about this, Liv, but we were watching topless women on the beach. Like, it's fine. I see your nipples and I've never met you before.
Hi. Yeah.
Totally okay. But we're watching these other women who are going topless, and at first, I'll admit, I was like, this is so uncomfortable. Like, this is so uncomfortable. But then as time went on, I was like, whoa, I feel super liberated by them. I felt super like empowered by them. Not to mention you guys pulling my pants up through my ass crack, but also watching these other women just walk around fully exposed and just, there was like nothing. Remember that there was like a guy selling something that came up to the one woman and she was talking to him with her top off?
Yes. And what was funny is that when we saw that, at first we were like, oh God, okay, wow, here we are. And not like in a judging way, but just in a very shocking way, because in the United States, like you don't see that a lot with women just like walking around topless. So we were all like, oh, hi, interesting, okay. And what was funny is that we weren't even intoxicated, but we told ourselves by the end of this trip, we're going to be topless on the beach. We like made a pact with each other, completely sober, and we're like, we're going to have our top off. And all three of us were like, I have never like let my nipples see the light of day besides like my husband, right? Like, and I was going to let them out here, not only to my girlfriends, but also to the people on the beaches of Tulum, Mexico are going to see my whole boob. Like, what is happening right now? But we made a pact.
With the exception of that time, like I'm sure everybody listening to this, if you've ever been in a tanning bed, with the exception of those times you went in the tanning bed topless and you like itch your boobs, they're so burnt. You're like, like that's so,
so bad.
So burnt. But we
don't tan. Don't do that.
Yeah, we're not
advocates.
We're not tan advocates. But I mean, do whatever you want to do. It's your freaking life, right? That's so true. Shannon says topless tanning. Watching these other women feel super liberated, and just the energy of the three of us was very much like, look, you're beautiful. Look, you are intelligent. Look, we were working. We were also relaxing. There was this infusion of work and play balance that was going on, and it was very, very freeing. And so it became this. I'll just tell you, I decided that if I was going to do this, if my friends were going to continue to pull my bottoms up to my butt crack, then I was just going to go into the bathing suit store that they had on the resort, and I was just going to buy my very first pair of bum bum bottoms, which is what I call them, the bum bum bottoms.
Bum bum bottoms.
Yes, because Olivia and Bianca are just so... they were just so in full embodiment of it. They were just so liberated. Like, this is my bathing suit and these are my butt cheeks. Like, that's that. And I was like, no, put a quilt around me. This cannot happen. This cannot.
But the other thing that was interesting about that is that I had never done that either. Like I had bought these like
I didn't know
Brazilian
that.
bikini bottoms, bum bikini bottoms that like all
Bum
of my
bum.
swimsuits were brand new. Like I had never worn them before. But there was something about me watching these other like body positivity accounts where the women are curvier, and I was like, their butts look so nice in these bottoms. Like I think I need these, because every time I've ever worn a swimsuit or a bikini bottoms and they do cover my whole butt, I feel like I'm wearing a soggy like wet diaper where it like kind of hangs in between. And I was like, I really like my butt. Yes, it's full of cellulite, but I really do like my butt. Joe likes my butt. He's a butt guy. And so I was like, I want to wear swimsuit bottoms and see if I like it with my butt out. And I actually felt more confident than I have in the past when it's covered my whole butt. So I'm wearing this like little teeny tiny string bikini where I put it on and the girls are like, oh my God, this is amazing. Bianca is like embodying her beautiful bronze goddessness as always, and like her little cheeky bikinis. And then you are like, okay, we're going to pull it up your butt, because you couldn't believe it. And we were like, you have a really nice ass. And we were like your hype team of like, we're going to get you in these bum bikini bottoms.
Bum bum. Bum bum. Yes. I love, what did Shannon just say?
Dookie. It's called like, Dookie booty.
Dookie booty. But she said they actually make me look like I have a butt. So that's the ironic part of all of this is, first of all, you know, I was raised in a way that was like, you need to cover up. I was raised in a way that was like, this is for, you know, private time only, privates, or for private time only. And so while we were there, I'm basically taking 35 years of lessons and deconstructing them in the course of 7 days. And watching these, my friends, these people that I trust, let alone complete strangers that I've never met before in my life, just owning it. And by the way, did you ever wear those bathing suits in front of Joe, or was this your first time ever in life wearing this?
First time ever in life. Ever.
Okay, so I didn't know that. That's so crazy. So when I went to buy my bum bottoms, the very same thing happened. I stood in the mirror and showed Bianca and Olivia my ass for probably a good 15 minutes and just said no.
But you walked out of the bathroom. She walks out of the bathroom. She goes, Olivia, Olivia, Olivia. And she said it like 18,000 times. And I was like, what? You look really hot. Rock it.
I said, I think I just said your name 7 times. Because it was a very uncomfortable feeling, number one, to have my butt out. But like Shannon Clute said, it literally for the first time maybe ever in life made me look like I actually had an ass. So it was a new sense of embodying confidence, because for me, again, like I said, it was deconstructing years of you don't do this, you don't show that, this is inappropriate and unacceptable. And, you know, to each their own. If you're still like I subscribe to like the full bottom butt bikinis, totally get it. Like you embody confidence the way that you need to. But for me, and I don't know about you, Liv, but for me in that experience and in those moments, it was just like somebody took like I was being suffocated and they took the mask off of me. Like it's time. It's time to be done. It's time to just embrace your body in totality. And it's time to allow yourself to embrace your sexuality too in a new way. Because then a bunch of things begin to transpire.
Well, what was interesting, and we're not, and 100%, I'm like, and we have so much more to tell you. My cousin Aaron is on right now, and he was like, I've always wondered what women talk about in the absence of men. Now I know.
We talk about letting our booties out of our bikinis.
And hello, Becky. Hi, Amanda. Hello, Priscilla. Welcome, ladies. And so, so what I want to make very clear is that, and I talk about this in my Redefining Eroticism program, but sexuality and embodying your sexuality doesn't always mean the Brazilian bikini bottoms or being topless on the beach. We're not saying it in a way it was for us, and that's kind of the examples we're using. But embodying and owning your sexuality, taking a sexy photo, feeling sexy in an outfit, you can be covered from head to toe. It's about the embodiment and the energy, the confidence and the empowerment that comes through the photo. It's like a light switch within you that turns on, that other people feel when they're with you. And it's like, there's just something about her. There's just something that she's got that I wish that I had. And that's what we're talking about. When you activate and turn on your sexuality and liberate this sexuality that we all have, we're all sexual beings at our core. It's just removing the years and years and years of conditioning and programming and the things that, you know, we have started to believe are wrong or bad, and removing that and finding your own truth and your own liberation within it. And I grew up in a very similar way as Shannon, where it was, this is wrong and this is bad, and like if you dress this way, then men will do this and they will sin, and therefore it's your fault, and so you need to cover up, or you know, you need to make sure that you're honoring XYZ with your body, versus just like owning my body and owning my confidence and being in that. And again, if you embody sexuality in a way that has you fully clothed, we root for you and we're here for that. Obviously, I'm not naked in this live, and I believe I'm embodying sexuality. I can do it in very little ways. And it's actually something I'm teaching my clients right now, of challenging them to take a sexy photo every single day. But a sexy photo doesn't have to mean being fully naked. It can actually be this really beautiful you being fully clothed, and it's an embodiment that comes through. And so what Shannon's talking about is, we started with like the bum Brazilian bikini bottoms. We're rocking this at the beach. We had this pact that we were going to be topless by the end of the trip. And we're going on and we're talking about these things. We're having so much fun. And yes, we drank a lot of tequila, but that had nothing to do with this sexual liberation. That was just like an extra side thing that we did sometimes. And so what happened was,
but now grandma watching. Hey,
hi, grandma. Erin is learning some stuff. Erin, I hope you share this with your wife. Hello. You're learning a lot about your cousin Olivia. Welcome to my Facebook Live. So that being said, did you have anything you wanted to add to that before we move on?
Oh, the thing that I also wanted to say too was, I want to be very clear as well. We want to be very clear about this. I want to be very clear in that sometimes when we talk about, like I'm talking about Bianca and I'm talking about Olivia, coming to the trip with these bathing suits and being ready to like have this embodiment, was empowered by them. I wasn't influenced by them.
Freezing.
I'm freezing?
Hold on, there you are. Yeah, you're freezing a lot. You keep getting this like warning sign on your face.
I do?
Like your internet's going out. Are you on Wi-Fi or no?
I am, yeah.
Weird. Okay.
Because I can see me and I can see you.
Okay, keep going. You're good now.
Okay, fine. So
the energy is breaking the internet. Hello, we're here.
Yay. But it was my desire to do these things is my point. I wasn't influenced by them. I was empowered by them. I wasn't forced by them. I was encouraged by them. And it was for my own desire, because what had ended up happening was I went back, I bought the bum bikini bottoms, I changed my bathing suit, and I came back in the bottoms, and the first thing Olivia said to me was, did you just wear them the whole way down here? I was like, I mean, you know, if I'm going to do it, I'm just going to freaking rip the Band-Aid off and just let these butt cheeks be out in the wild doing their own thing. And so it really truly for me, and if you are like me and you're listening to this and you feel and have felt oppressed in the sense that you're doing it to yourself, in the sense that you can't possibly unleash, you can't possibly allow this side of you be shared in the world, let alone within yourself, to acknowledge it, take the opportunity to check in with your desire. Sharon says, hi, I won't embarrass you any longer. I'll sign off. Bye.
Grandma, you're okay. You're totally
good. That's so
Feel
sweet.
Feel free to be here.
That's so sweet. Viola says, yes, woman. Yes. So yes, it was, for me, it was all about the desire, and everything that transpired from that point on was about me empowering that desire. And I talk about this as well with confidence. It's ironic. I literally just went live and then got on this live with Olivia. And one of the things that allows us to embrace confidence from a way that allows us to be empowered in ourselves is autonomy. It allows us to see that we get to decide. It's a self-government factor. It's not allowing us to look out into the world and we say, oh, this woman with her boobs out is the reason why I'm doing this, or Olivia and Bianca, because they can embrace this, is the reason why I'm doing this. It allows us to say, for my own self-government, what do I want? I want to embrace my desire. I want to embrace my femininity. I want to stop feeling embarrassed or shamed or resentful or regretful that, you know, I'll go all the way to my grave feeling like I wish I would have just allowed myself to have what felt like one little thing, putting on a pair of bum bottoms really allowed this tidal wave to occur, this trickle down effect that allowed me to just completely unleash for the remainder of the trip, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. So allow yourself to check in with that desire and allow it to be a self-governing factor versus anything that anybody infringes upon you.
100%. It was us seeing what was available and what was possible by the others embodying it. And what was cool was that it was so interesting because I look at Shannon and I'm like, she's perfect, right? She's body goals. She's perfect. I look at Bianca and she's body goals and I'm like, wow. And I struggled and have always struggled with a lot of body image issues. And I've been very open with that. So if you've been following me for a while, you know, and it's something that dates all the way back to like being a kid. Like I remember it so very clearly. And so what was interesting is I went on this trip already feeling like a little bit of the confidence issues as far as like, they're both perfect. Like I'm going to be like the fat, ugly friend. And of course, like this is all in my head. I know I'm not asking for like you guys to feel bad for me or pump me up. I just mean like that was literally what was going through my head. And I was like, I'm going to go on this trip and I'm going to embody, I'm going to come back different. And we talked a lot about this on the podcast that will be out tomorrow. But I was literally like, I'm going to look at Shannon, I'm going to look at Bianca. And instead of comparing, I'm going to go into full inspired mode of watching them be so in themselves and so in their body and owning it that I can do the same thing. And what was cool was that Shannon had that wasn't cool, but it helped in the end. And it was cool to see it in the end was that Shannon had her own insecurities that came through. Bianca had her own insecurities that came through. I had my own insecurities that came through. We're on the beach of Mexico and there's body shapes of all sizes and all colors and everything. And everyone was owning it. And ages. And what was so cool was that literally watching these other women and watching each other was like, you know, Shannon was like, Olivia, I just watch you and you're like owning this. And I was like, you have no idea the mind fuckery that's going on in my brain right now that I'm having to consciously overwrite and choose again because what's going on in my head isn't matching what's going on in my body. But I started to not embody who I was embodying who I wanted to become, who I longed to become. I started really thinking about the choices that Olivia, as a sexually liberated woman, as a sexually awakened woman, who would I want to be? How would I want to show up? And I made decisions and choices from her shoes, from the woman I was stepping into. And by the end, right, we started with the bum bikini bottoms. We're wearing the little teeny tiny bathing suits. Then about, you know, towards the end, we actually went into taking sexy selfies and got a little bit naked in our hotel room. And we were not even drunk. I swear to God, we were like dead cold sober. We had had like a couple drinks throughout the day, but we were like dead sober when we did this. And we took turns in the bathroom taking sexy selfies because our friend Bianca was like, listen, like I take a sexy selfie every single day. I take a nude every day. We're like, I'm sorry.
We were like, why? Why do you do that? What's that for?
She was like, it's just really good for your confidence and it's really good. And we were like, okay, cool. So what we did was we're like, wow, our husbands would really dig this. But instead of going with that, we literally were like, how can this empower ourselves, us as the female, knowing that, I mean, it'll also make my husband really happy when I send him a nude of me. But for me in the moment, it was like, what is this going to do for my empowerment and my self-love and my confidence and my sexual liberation? Yeah. And I'll let you take it from there.
Oh, great. And yeah, so it's been a very eye-opening and liberating experience. One of the things that we talked about being down there was, if for all of our Sex in the City watchers, was your vagina. Pause for reaction.
Pause for reaction.
Pause for reaction. And if you've ever seen, I think it's the episode, they were talking to Charlotte and I think it was Miranda or Samantha says, you mean you've never taken a compact and just looked at your vagina? And I immediately Olivia and I are like, oh God, no. No, we definitely have not done that. And so we had been talking about it, and I had said, I can't remember who said it, but I know that one of us has said, like, our men would definitely like that. Our men would definitely appreciate that. But that would also require that we see that. I was, and all three of us are like, oh no, like, no, I can't look at that. I don't even want to know what that looks like. What if it looks bad? What if it looks old? What if it looks like wrinkly? What if it looks like, we're having all of these what ifs, right? And so all I remember, and Liv, if you can fill in any of the blanks, I feel like maybe I blacked out, like, just do it. All I remember was getting back to the room, walking into the bathroom, and I didn't even tell Olivia and Bianca I was going to do it. I just walked into the bathroom. I tilted my phone up against the wall, and I got in the most, what I depict in my brain is the most beautiful and elegant goddess pose that I could. And exposing my moon, or exposing my yoni, whatever you want to explain it, fully nude, took a photo. And immediately I just like took it, put the timer on my phone, leaned it up against the wall, got in my pose, and immediately sent it to my husband. And I came out of the bathroom and I said to Olivia and Bianca, well, I just took a fully nude pose and photo of myself, completely exposing my entire body and my vagina. And honestly, in that moment, I remember thinking, like, wow, I've never seen this up close like this before. I'm not really sure what to think about my vagina looking this closely at me, but also thinking to myself how liberating it was, how empowering it was because for years, again, like the bum pants, you know, for years I've avoided my vagina like it's the plague. Like, I don't look at that, don't talk about it, don't expose it. Like, you know, like I've never had sex before. I very well have, and not celebrating it, and had this sense of empowerment, had this sense of complete and sheer freedom, complete and sheer, honestly, sex. It felt very sexy to be able to have that shared moment and experience with my husband, because he knew how difficult that was for me to expose myself that way for him. Again, yes, I've had sex with my husband before, but completely owning myself in that way, being confident about myself in that way. And I can tell you, I can fully admit that there have been several times since then that I've taken my own sexy photo of the day, where I'm continuing this on to celebrate my body confidence, because I have years, as Olivia said, I did a post about it while we were down there, years of shaming myself, years of hearing the stories from other people, like, what do you have to be ashamed of? You're so thin. And this back and forth judgment of just holding it in there and harboring it in. But the minute that I sent it to him, it was almost like me closing the chapter on that and saying, I'm not available for that anymore. I'm completely redefining this relationship. I'm taking back the power that I know I already have and I have been subduing for years and years and years. I will open this Pandora's box and I will allow it to be free, because I'm not ashamed any freaking more.
Boom. Yes. Oh my God. All of the love. Yes. So again, we're not saying you have to go take a picture of your naked pussy, although we did. And I swore to God I would never do that.
I feel like we should get a star. I'm like, I did it.
I know. I am officially, like, I'm in the next level. Yes, in the next chapter. And so what was interesting is, like, Joe's been on 3 different deployments for 9 months at a time. He's always asked me for photos, and I've sent like little sexy photos of in other ways. I had never taken a full-on pussy shot in my entire life. And but Shannon did hers, Bianca was talking about hers, and I was like, not because I was trying to be them, or I was like, oh, I have to do it to fit in. It literally was like this surge of energy through me. It was also interesting because I'm in a sex and sexuality program I'm teaching right now. And in my integrity, part of me was like, I need to go first. And so I went into the bathroom and I got into what I believed was a sexy pose. And I took many, many shots that I was like, oh God, oh no. And I had to like warm myself up. And like, I kid you not, like 10 photos later, I had sexy music on. I was like, had this really soft like wrap that I was kind of wrapped in that was, you know, letting things show through. And I was in these different sexy poses, and I was like trying to find where I felt comfortable. And I kept taking photos. And again, I wasn't even, honest to God, thinking about Joe at the time. I was thinking about myself and like how
Yes.
liberating and empowering this felt. And what happened was I took, and we set our timers up on our phone, and we like leaned it up on the wall, and then you're like on the floor. And I did what I thought was my, most sexy pose, where I felt most confident. And I took the photo, and I was like, as I kept going, I was like, I'm enjoying this. Like, who am I right now? Where I'm like enjoying this. And then I got excited to send it to him, and I sent it to him, and it like created this whole dialogue and beautiful continued conversation around, not because, again, he has seen it all. He has seen my naked pussy. He'll go down on me, and he sees it when we're having sex. It's impossible to miss. There it is. But I still had this weird thing of like, but a picture is so different. But what I learned was that it wasn't the fact that I sent him a naked picture of my vagina. What it was he saw an embodied confidence, and there's nothing sexier than your man seeing you embodying confidence and sexuality. And again, maybe it's not a naked pussy shot for you, and maybe it's not a naked lingerie selfie in the mirror. It absolutely could be as simple as wearing full on clothes, and it's the confidence that comes from within, and it's not picking your body apart when you're with him, and it's not tearing yourself down. It's letting him worship you, because you worship yourself in all of your glory and rolls and cellulite and all of it, because you're owning it. And there's nothing sexier. Shannon says, have you ladies ever done those boudoir shots? I have not, but it's definitely on the list of like one of my goals for this year. The goddess has awakened. Holla, holla.
I mean, do we need, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, do we need to do sexy bedroom shots when you just take a full pussy shot and send it to your, I'm like, at the same time, it's very seductive and it's a different environment. I totally get it. But for me, it was like just ripping the full Band-Aid off and being like, I don't know if it gets any sexy for me, right? I totally agree with you. I've never done anything like this before in my life. I'm super, super, super very clear, specific, a huge fan of women allowing themselves to be embodying sexuality and confidence fully clothed too. I want to, because like I'm just hugely an advocate for that. But at the same time, I'm like, do I need a sexy bedroom shot when I'm just like, hey, here's my world in a photo?
100%. And that's it. Like I challenged my girls in redefining eroticism. I'm like, take a sexy selfie every day. And again, it can be fully clothed. But it's practicing embodying this confidence until you believe it. Like I said, I took 10 different photos before I finally liked one. And then I was like, wow, like this is really liberating. This is empowering. I'm finding my voice in this. I'm finding my style in this. And Raylene says, I'm trying to get on that level too, but I'm terrified to do it. We were also terrified to do it 100%. We were like, I was like, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to, and so I would ask you, like, A, what terrifies you? Like, identify the fear. The fear is there to come up for clearing. It's coming up for healing. It's coming up to say, hey, notice me, be aware of me, move me out, move me through. I don't belong here anymore, because where you're going, this next level embodiment for you, Raylene, is going to be someone who doesn't have this same exact fear. You'll still have fear in life. There's fears everywhere. They're there for healing. They're there as lessons and teachers, and they're showing us contrast. But at this next level of embodiment, that fear of being terrified to be sexy in a photo, again, you define what sexy is for you. I'm not saying it has to be the same it was for us, but it's really you being able to work through that. It's just coming up for a chance for healing. 100% recommend a boudoir shoot. I still look at my book and it makes me happy. I love that. Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful. So yeah, it was cool to see what this sexual liberation and awakening did, not only in ourselves personally, right? What it did in our friendship, and like the next level it took us there. Like I showed the girls one of the photos I took, and I was like, look, I feel so sexy. I feel so hot. And I shared it in my group program, and it was this really beautiful experience of like other women seeing what was possible. And, it changed things in our relationships, and it changed the way that our energy was. It changed our confidence. And so we just wanted to talk about it, because at the core of who we are is this beautiful, sexual, orgasmic, pleasurable, life source, creative energy. And when you can embody it and you can unleash it and you can own it, it
Mm-hmm.
sets you apart in every single way. And we just wanted to be able to share that with you guys because it was life-changing for us what happened in Tulum.
Yeah, and there's no version of sexy.
Mm-mm.
There isn't. And I know that there can be this comparison that happens where you're like, but I don't have the long hair and I don't have,
Mm-hmm.
the curves, and my butt doesn't look like this, but my boobs look like that and my
Yep.
vagina's like this. Like, we ran the gamut. We were like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but I feel like my boob looks like this and I feel like my vagina
Yeah.
looks like that. And should that be over there? Should that be
I
like
thought I
that?
had
Should
an
that be
ingrown I thought I had an ingrown hair because I get waxed, and so I took a picture like really close and I zoomed in and I'm like, what is that? What's happening?
You were like, is that a skin tag? Has that always been there? Like, what is that? Yeah, so there is no version of beautiful, there's no version of sexy, there's no version
Mm-mm.
of what is desirable. It's just you. It's what you want to
1,000%.
embody. It's how you feel about yourself. And if you're feeling that way, if you're feeling like, but I don't have the long hair and I don't have the big breasts and I don't have the curvaceous ass and I don't have the tiny waist and I do have cellulite and I do have rolls and I do have this and I do have that, there is an opportunity for you to check in with yourself and allow yourself to get reacclimated to what is going on now. Like, who are you
Mm.
now? How can you embrace that now? How can you celebrate that now? How can you say yes to it now? What is the
Mm.
lesson there for you? What is the opportunity there for you in embodying not just your confidence, but your sexuality, the type of woman that you are, the type of sexy that you are, the very intricate ways that you light up a room, you light up your life, you light up the bedroom, and turn yourself on and allow yourself to orgasm and touch every single inch of your body and get intimately
Mm.
familiar with it. There is your version of beautiful and sexy and desirability, and only you, no man, no woman, no human is going to give you the validation or the permission for that. Only you can unlock that.
You have to worship you before you can expect your man to worship you or your woman to worship you. It's this, you have to go first. You're never going to feel fulfilled unless you're giving that to yourself first. I mean, Joe can tell me all day long about how sexy I am and how much he worships me. And Shannon can tell me how I have the hip creases that are everyone's envy or whatever it might be that you said to me when we were in Tulum. And
Yeah.
until I could own it within myself, it was like it kind of like goes in one ear and out the other, and you don't let it fully stick to you and receive it and sink in. And that's when you are constantly seeking this external validation, but it's never enough and it's always out of reach. It's you having to go within yourself and know that I am a sensual, sexual, erotic, turned on, orgasmic, sexy, goddess, divinity in form woman. And I am
Mm-hmm.
owning every single piece of me right here, right now. You know what's interesting is that, like I said, I've struggled with body image my whole life. I'm always the one who's been on diets here and there and up and down all the time and constantly thinking about my weight and constantly thinking about what I eat and working out until I cry and these different things. And what happened in Mexico is I didn't gain a single pound. And I
Mm-hmm.
came home and I was very bloated when I was there. I came home and I shit my brains out, and thank God for that. But what happened, and you know why I believe that it was, is because I'm owning who I am and the weight that we carry and the extra baggage that we hold on. A lot of times is emotional baggage. And when you
Yeah.
embody this confidence and this sexiness and this sexuality that we all have within us and you turn it on, you actually start to release weight and release the idea of what you think perfect is and release the comparison and release these different things that are blocking you from being seen in your truest essence, in your truest form, and your most pure beauty. And I see these pictures of me in these swimsuits and I'm like, who the fuck is that? Like, who is that woman right there? And I've realized, like, oh my God, that's me. But it's
Mm-hmm.
me, and it's the energy that exudes from within. It's not because of what I'm wearing, it's because of who I'm being and how I'm showing up. And so, a couple tangible tips for you guys to take away from this. I hope you took a lot, but the sexy selfies, whatever sexy is to you, define that, own that, be in that energy, and take the photo a day challenge with us of sexy selfies and own it and share them with your spouse if you want to, or share them with your girlfriends if you want to, or just keep them for yourself. It can be as beautiful and simple as that. And the other thing that I was going to say, oh shit, I forgot. Oh, the sensuality piece of just starting to be aware of your senses and start to be aware of how your skin feels and how
Mm-hmm.
the water feels when it hits your skin in the shower and how your food tastes, and moving your body and like being in your body and just starting to dance and move and express yourself that way. And when you're in that sense, when you're in your senses and you're owning your sensuality, you're activating your sexuality, you're activating your pleasure, that orgasmic energy. And it's so beautiful, the sexiness and the desirability that you start to portray without even trying, because you're just a woman who's owning herself in every way. And that is what turns on that desirability. It's that confidence within ourselves that our man is like, there's something different about you, but I'm digging it. Like, what's going on here? Or your girlfriends are like, dude, like, what diet are you on recently? Like, there's just something about you. And it's like, it's called
Nothing.
sexual liberation, bitch. You should get on it.
Sexual liberation, bitch. Yeah, ask yourself what your brand of confidence is, right? Because get very specific of what does confidence mean to me? What does it look like for me? Who am I with it? What do I desire? What do I want to receive from desire? What do I want to give for desire? And also allow yourself, not everybody wants to go full blown into taking pussy shots. Like, I'm totally aware of that. Like, it's taken me a few years to build up to this and, a liberating trip to Tulum. So allow yourself to take that incremental leap if you want to. Wear that crop top. Put on that tube top, wear that tight fitting pair of pants, allow yourself to wear that sheer top with a bra underneath, put on some beautiful lashes, allow yourself to get your hair done, allow yourself to feel it incrementally if you need to. It doesn't need to be a slingshot from one area to another. Allow yourself to explore, allow yourself to be adventurous, and allow yourself to discover you.
And allow yourself to be curious. Just play with it. Play with the energy of, if I was sexually liberated, what would that look like and feel like for me? And allowing yourself the permission to go there and have fun with it. Like, this can be so fun. And tag your girlfriends in this if you feel like they would be into it. Listen to our podcast that we have coming out tomorrow about this as well. And just the vibes and the frequency that we felt in Tulum, we're bringing it back to you. We're encapsulating it. We're putting it in a perfume. We're spritzing it on every day. And we want you guys to feel that too. And this was a really key piece and a really big life-changing takeaway that we took from it. And we just wanted to share that with you all. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for being Soul in the Raw listeners. We love you guys so freaking much. We cannot wait to see your sexy selfies if you want to share them. We're happy to be the person that you share them with if you'd like us to. And go out there and be sexually liberated in whatever way that means for you, even if it's just a 1 millimeter shift, a 1 decision, or a 1 hell yes, whatever that looks like for you. We cheers that for you. We clank with you.
I also want to say that very similarly, we always have our confessional, and we invite you guys to always share with us anonymously. We will never share your name unless you specifically ask us to for whatever reason, but anonymously share with us your confessionals, and these can be a part of it. Today, I took my very first sexy selfie, and here's what I noticed. Today, I took my very first sexy selfie, and I shared it with my man. Today, I allowed myself to go get my hair done, and I noticed that when they were washing my hair, I felt this new revived sense of sensuality. So feel free to share them with us at Soul in the Raw on Instagram. And we'll, if you want us to, we'll read them. We will, celebrate in them with you as a part of our confessionals. And this way we can experience that incremental success with you. And if you're looking for that accountability to say, if I don't share it, then I won't do it, we are happy to support you.
This is my confession. Da, da,
da, na, 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 na.
Says she got one on the way. Usher for you guys. So enjoy it. We love you. We're rooting for you. We're here for you. Clank, clank. And until next time, guys, we'll see you tomorrow on Cocktail Conversation. Chelsea, we love you. Danette, we love you so freaking much. Have the most amazing night, you guys, and we'll talk to you next time.